Welcome back, everybody. Episode 23.
Mm.
And, we promised you March would go out like a lion.
Well, we're keeping that promise today. Deep dive into a real D&D classic, Mordenkainen's Fantastic Adventure.
Ooh, a good one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking about the original first edition AD&D module here, a challenging hack and slash dungeon crawl designed for high-level players.
That's so interesting, to look back and see how design philosophies have changed over the years. I mean, you think about what's popular now, 5th edition, intricate narratives, character-driven campaigns.
Right.
And then you look at this module and it's just raw, brutal. It's
Yeah.
a test of survival.
Yeah.
It's a throwback to when dungeon delving was less about storytelling and more
Sure.
about resource management, strategic combat, and just a little bit of luck.
A little bit of luck. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So we're going to delve into the depths of Maure Castle today, guided by the rumors of unopenable doors that promise untold riches and unimaginable dangers.
Oh, yeah. And, the module provides us a quartet of pre-generated characters for players to step into the shoes of Mordenkainen and the Mage, Yarrig the Lord, Bigby the Magic User, and Rigby the Patriarch.
Yeah.
Imagine stepping into the shoes of Mordenkainen himself, a legend in the making.
Yeah, and it's not just some random dungeon they're exploring. This adventure is set in Gygax's original Greyhawk setting, specifically the Cairn Hills near the free city of Greyhawk itself.
Okay.
And what's really cool is that Maure Castle still exists in the modern Greyhawk setting.
Oh, wow.
Talk about a location with staying power.
Yeah.
Really speaks to the lasting impact of these classic modules on the D&D world.
So how does this desolate, foreboding castle draw in such powerful adventurers? Well, the hook, as we mentioned, is the mystery of the unopenable doors.
Of course.
These rumors surrounding those doors are enough to pique the curiosity of even the most jaded adventurer. I mean, what's behind them? Why can't they be opened? The module masterfully uses this mystery to draw players in.
And it's not just about the allure of treasure either. There's this sense of dread and danger that the module weaves in right from the start. Just approaching the castle is an adventure in itself. The surrounding area is described as desolate and just steeped in this unsettling atmosphere.
Oh, yeah.
The text even suggests potential nighttime encounters, just adding a layer of tension before the party even sets foot in the dungeon. Imagine your players huddled around a campfire, hearing the distant howls of wolves, or the eerie grating sound of those unopenable doors echoing through the hills.
Oh, man. And then there's the possibility of encountering lepers seeking alms, wild animals scavenging for food, or even a will-o'-the-wisp, leading greedy adventurers astray with promises of false treasure.
Right, setting the scene.
Setting the scene, yeah. These encounters, while seemingly simple, highlight the harsh reality of the Greyhawk wilderness and hint at the dangers that await within the castle walls.
Absolutely. And once they breach those infamous doors, the real challenge begins. Maure Castle's dungeon is a classic hack-and-slash environment spread across 3 levels. Each level is more challenging than the last, testing the player's tactical prowess and resourcefulness at every turn.
Let's talk about those unopenable doors for a second. They're not just a narrative device, they're a puzzle in themselves. 2-foot-thick iron. No visible hinges or mechanisms. It's a classic D&D riddle. Demands creative problem solving. It kind of sets the tone for the entire dungeon. Brute force won't get you very far. You need to think outside the box, utilize spells and strategy, maybe even exploit a few loopholes in the rules to overcome the challenges ahead.
Yeah, you make a great point. This module really encourages players to use all the tools at their disposal. It's not just about, swinging swords and casting fireballs. It's about using your environment, your spells, even your wits, to outsmart your opponents. Like, for example, on the first level, there's the Room of Misplaced Fortunes. Imagine this. Holes magically appear in the floor, compelling characters to drop their most valuable items. It's just a clever way to make players think twice about hoarding treasure, and forces them to adapt their strategies on the fly.
It's a classic reminder that even in a dungeon crawl, greed can be your downfall.
And speaking of classic D&D tropes, let's not forget the fighter frescoes.
Oh, yes.
These seemingly innocuous paintings on the doors suddenly spring to life as champions when the candles in the room are extinguished. It's a fun twist on the classic, false sense of security trap. And it serves as a reminder that even the most mundane details in a dungeon can harbor danger.
The module is full of these little touches that add a layer of unpredictability to the dungeon. You never know what's going to happen next. Like, there's the rug room, where a magic rug is controlled by a trapped air elemental.
Interesting.
It's like a fun twist on the flying carpet trope. But freeing the elemental could have unintended consequences for the party. They might have to deal with this powerful creature they weren't prepared to fight.
Right.
These encounters highlight the importance of careful exploration and strategic decision-making. And then there's Arlie the Weaver, a polymorphed ogre mage, disguised as a harmless old man. He tries to trick the party with cursed items. A girdle of femininity, masculinity, slippers of slowness, a robe that bites, socks that make you sweat profusely.
Oh, no.
It's a fantastic example of how this module blends combat with social interaction and trickery. You can't just hack and slash your way through every encounter. Sometimes you need to use your wits and your charm to avoid a potentially deadly situation.
Right. It adds depth and variety to the dungeon. It prevents it from becoming a monotonous series of combat encounters. Speaking of combat, no dungeon crawl would be complete without a truly formidable guardian. On the first level, that guardian comes in the form of the Iron Golem.
Oh.
This isn't your average lumbering construct. This is a powerful, mobile threat. With a poisonous sword, a petrifying whip, and fiery breath, it even levitates, making traditional melee tactics difficult. It is. The Iron Golem is a true test of a party's tactical skills, requires them to coordinate their attacks, utilize their spells effectively, and potentially exploit the golem's weaknesses to bring it down.
So the Iron Golem is a great example of how this module challenges players to think strategically. You can't just charge in and expect to win. You have to analyze the situation, plan your attacks carefully, utilize your resources wisely. But defeating the Iron Golem is just the beginning. The real adventure lies deeper within Maure Castle, on the second level, where players enter the domain of Eli Tomarast, the main antagonist of the module.
And Tomarast is a fascinating villain. He's not just a power-hungry wizard looking for treasure or world domination. He's a brilliant but twisted artificer, driven by a desire to unlock forbidden knowledge and harness the power of chaos itself.
It's more than just your typical evil wizard, so we're not dealing with some run-of-the-mill evil wizard here. Tomarast is a servant of cosmic evil, and his ambitions could have catastrophic consequences for the entire Greyhawk setting.
His connection to the chaotic god Tharizdun adds this layer of cosmic horror to the adventure. It suggests that his goals extend far beyond the walls of Maure Castle.
So he's actively searching for the lost city of the Elders, a place whispered to hold unimaginable power and secrets that could reshape the world.
Right.
It really raises the stakes, adds a sense of urgency to the player's quest to stop him.
And that sense of urgency is amplified by the challenges players face on the second level. They encounter Tomarast's loyal minions, like Huben, his apprentice, who sets cunning traps and ambushes. And then there's the Tirg, a wolf-like creature guarding the entrance to Tomarast's domain, with a deafening howl that can stun those who hear it.
Oh, wow.
It's a constant reminder that the players are intruders in a dangerous and unpredictable environment.
And then there's the Purple Stone, this enigmatic, intelligent entity that adds a layer of moral complexity to the adventure. It can grant limited abilities or answer questions, but it also punishes those who threaten it. So it presents a classic D&D dilemma. Do you risk angering a powerful entity for a chance at gaining valuable information? Or do you play it safe and try to find another way?
Exactly. The Purple Stone embodies the idea that knowledge and power come at a price. It forces players to consider the potential consequences of their actions and make difficult choices.
Right.
And those choices are further complicated by encounters like the Accursed Carpet, an animated rug that can smother victims or attack with biting mouths.
Yikes.
It's a reminder that Tomarast is a master of twisting the mundane into something dangerous and unpredictable.
So the Accursed Carpet, along with other traps and encounters on this level, highlight Tomarast's ingenuity and his willingness to exploit any advantage to achieve his goals. But the true test of the party's strength comes when they finally confront Tomarast himself. He's a challenging opponent who utilizes a variety of spells and tactics, including his spiked, magically enhanced hands that can drain the life force of his enemies.
The battle with Tomarast is a highlight of the module. It's a culmination of all the skills and strategies the players have developed throughout their exploration of Maure Castle. But even defeating Tomarast is only half the battle. The third and final level of the dungeon is where things get truly intense, where Tomarast has been conducting his most dangerous experiments, and where he has summoned a powerful demon named Kurzit.
And this is where the atmosphere of the dungeon takes a noticeable shift. Newer stonework suggests recent construction, and a sense of oppressive dread hangs in the air. It's clear that we're entering a place where Tomarast has been indulging in his darkest desires, a place where the line between magic and madness has become blurred.
The evidence of Tomarast's cult-like following, with their rituals and sacrifices, adds to the unsettling vibe of this level. They are a testament to the allure of Tomarast's power and the seductive nature of chaos. But lurking at the heart of this level, in the charnel caverns, is Kurzit, a powerful demon bound to Tomarast's will, guarding a potent artifact known as the Tome of the Black Heart.
But Kurzit is a force to be reckoned with. It's immune to many lower-level spells, and can summon other demons to its aid, making it a true test of a party's skill and coordination. This final encounter isn't just about defeating a powerful monster, it's about confronting the consequences of Tomarast's actions, and preventing a potentially catastrophic release of demonic power into the world.
The fight against Kurzit is a climax of the dungeon crawl, a desperate battle against a creature of pure chaos. But it's the Tome of the Black Heart that represents the true prize, and the true danger of this adventure. It's a powerful artifact containing dark spells, forbidden rituals, and secrets of other planes of existence.
Right.
Tomas has been using it to create magical items and summon demonic entities, but at a terrible cost.
So the Tome of the Black Heart adds a layer of moral complexity to the adventure. What should happen to it if Tomarast is defeated? Should it be destroyed to prevent its dark knowledge from falling into the wrong hands? Or could it be studied and its secrets used for good? It's a question that could spark intense debate among players and lead to further adventures. The Tome of the Black Heart. It's like a Pandora's box of dark magic, a fascinating artifact, both in terms of its potential power and the ethical dilemmas it presents. What secrets does it hold? And how would a party of adventurers even begin to deal with such a dangerous object?
Well, one of the most intriguing aspects of the tome is that it provides insights into Tomarast's methods and motivations. For example, it contains the very ritual he used to summon Kurzit, the demon guarding this level. Imagine the implications if those instructions fell into the wrong hands.
That's a chilling thought. We've already seen how dangerous one demon can be. Unleashing more upon the world would be disastrous. So it's more than just a book of spells. It's a window into Tomarast's twisted mind, a blueprint for his chaotic ambitions. What else does it reveal about his plans?
The tome contains schematics for creating a unique iron golem, even more powerful than the one guarding the first level. This one is infused with fireballs and levitation spells, making it a truly formidable foe. It speaks to Tomarast's skill as an artificer, his ability to blend magic and technology to create devastating weapons.
Almost like he's a prototype for a mad scientist, centuries ahead of his time. But these creations, as impressive as they are, seem to be just stepping stones to something bigger, right? His ultimate goal is still the lost city of the elders.
Exactly. And the tome doesn't disappoint. It contains instructions for creating the dagger obelisk, a device that can open a portal to the lost city. But the process is incredibly complex and dangerous, requiring sacrifices to powerful deities, rare materials, and intricate spells woven into the dagger's very essence.
A dagger that acts as a key to a lost city filled with untold power. That's the stuff of legends. It really highlights the epic scope of this adventure. We're not just talking about clearing out a dungeon. We're talking about potentially altering the course of history.
And that's what makes Mordenkainen's fantastic adventure so compelling, even decades after its publication. It's a story about the struggle between order and chaos, between those who seek to preserve the world and those who would exploit its power for their own gain.
It's the classic battle between good and evil. But with a distinctly D&D flavor, the module throws in powerful magic, monstrous creatures, and ancient mysteries, creating a rich and engaging world for players to explore.
And it leaves us with some thought-provoking questions. What happens to the Tome of the Black Heart? Do the heroes destroy it, lock it away, or attempt to study its secrets? What becomes of the dagger obelisk? Does anyone dare to use it to reach the lost city of the elders? These are questions that could fuel countless further adventures, expanding on the legacy of this classic module.
This is where the open-ended nature of the module shines. It doesn't just provide a prepackaged story. It sparks the imagination and invites players to create their own narratives within the framework of the Greyhawk setting. Imagine adapting this module for 5th edition, incorporating those iconic characters and locations into a modern campaign. The possibilities are endless.
And that's the beauty of Dungeons & Dragons. It's a game that constantly evolves and adapts, drawing inspiration from its past while forging new paths into the future. Mordenkainen's fantastic adventure, with its blend of classic dungeon crawling and epic storytelling, reminds us of the enduring power of imagination and the thrill of exploring the unknown.
Well said. And on that note, we've reached the end of our deep dive into Mordenkainen's fantastic adventure. We hope you've enjoyed exploring this classic module with us. Remember, the link to the PDF is in the video description, so you can check it out for yourselves. And be sure to let us know in the comments why you would do if you found yourselves facing those unopenable doors. Would you venture inside? And if so, What would you do with the Toma of the Black Heart? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell so you never miss a deep dive. Thanks for joining us, and keep exploring.